Today's episode of The Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Meze Grill, M-E-Z-E Grill.com, and Mt. Gox, MTGOX.com, and BitPay, BIT-PAY.com. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bitcoin Show. This is episode 35 and I'm Bruce Wagner. And joining us today, right here live in the studio, is Andrew Lee, who, welcome.
Welcome.
And Andrew is the co-founder of Mt. Gox Live. So, welcome. You're right here local to New York, right?
Yes, just recently.
Recently? Where are you from before that?
Well, I lived in Connecticut for about 1 year, and before that I was in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody knows what Mt. Gox is, but what the heck is Mt. Gox Live?
Mt. Gox Live is it's a trading depth chart, basically, that allows you to see the price resistances, the open orders and the buy and sells, lets you see trade history, up-to-date live trade data. It basically keeps you updated on what's happening in the Bitcoin economy.
So check out my screen and you can see I'm on Mt. Gox Live right now. And when I go to Mt. Gox Live right now, that's what it looks like. Nope, you're not seeing it. Oh well. Anyway, trust me, it's like a big V and it shows you the spread. It shows you the basically that's the order book, real time. That's why it's called live. Okay, so you see on the one side the order book orders, on the other side the I guess the asks and the buys, right?
Yes, the buys, bids are on the left and the asks are on the
okay.
right.
And what's this green squiggly thing down the middle?
That's the actual trades that occurred. And if you hover your mouse over each, like the green line, you can see, the time that it was traded. And
the actual trades.
Yeah, there's also a thickness on that line as well, so it shows you the volume of the trades that occurred at that time as well.
Wow, this is cool. And so we announced, and we all know probably by now that Mt. Gox acquired Mt. Gox Live, right? So is that the secret? You just create a website and then really cool tool and call it Mt. Gox, and they're just going to buy you? Is that was that your plan from the beginning?
I'm not sure actually. It's all luck, I guess.
Yeah,
coincidence.
I think it's more than luck. You have to come up with something really, really valuable, which you obviously have. And the guys at Mt. Gox must have been really impressed. What was your first contact like when Mark called you up and said, "Hey, I like what you did"? How did that go?
We actually were talking for quite a long time, so I can't even really remember how it first started.
Okay, cool. Probably email. He's always into email. That's very cool. Okay, so Mt. Gox Live is a website now. And you're a co-founder, so you had a partner in this startup, right?
Yes.
But Mt. Gox Live then became Mt. Gox Live app.
Yes.
Right, for Android.
Yeah. So what happened was basically somewhere around May 26th, Steve DeProspero, who's also many people know as Coder, he wrote Mt. Gox Live, the website, and he showed it to me, and we put it on one of our servers, and we thought, wow, this is amazing. We need to keep making more services to help Bitcoin go up.
Yeah, that is slick. So he developed the website. And so you developed the app then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you developed the app. Very cool. Why don't you see if you can bring it up here at mountgoxlive.com/mobile. So that mountgoxlive.com/mobile is the actual page for the Mt. Gox Live mobile. So now you were just telling me a minute ago, that's how I know. Mt. Gox Live app has now been renamed just Mt. Gox Mobile.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's good because I can't remember it. Mt. Gox Mobile I can remember. And it looks really slick. You can actually just download it here. Now it requires Android or iOS.
Yes, the iOS, there's a lot of, I guess, desire for it, but right now we're still doing testing. It works on jailbroken iOS devices, which are version 4.01, but not with the most recent 4.3.3 or up.
So on the iPhone and stuff, all the i thingies, you have to have iOS 4.01 and it has to be jailbroken.
Exactly.
So it's the little qualifiers there. But Android can just be 2.1 or better.
Well,
Okay.
there is, I'd like to mention so nobody is startled, there is an issue with Android 2.1 and their trusted root SSL certificates. So there's actually a problem with 2.1. So in hindsight, actually, we should limit it to 2.2 plus. Yeah.
2.2 plus. Okay, there's a typo. Mark that up. We'll fix it. All right. But basically a new Android phone. So that's really slick. Now, you're also involved. Now, BTC.to. Tell us about that.
Okay, so when we had our mobile application and we thought, okay, so you want to send Bitcoins to a Bitcoin address. And then we were about to do that, and it's so many characters that you have to
Yeah.
enter, especially on a mobile phone, and it's a nightmare. So we thought, okay, we need a Bitcoin address shortener. And so that's where BTC.to
I
came
remember,
from.
I don't know, I might have told this story before, but I remember that one of the very first Bitcoin transactions I ever did, some guy, I had put some US dollars into Mt. Gox, and some guy, emailed me whatever, and he wanted to meet, he wanted to buy some Bitcoins. So we met at the coffee shop or whatever, and he's like, he hands me this little, like, it was literally like a piece of paper, like this, just torn off like that, right? And he hands it to me, and he goes like that. And I'm like, what's this? Like, what is this, your business card? I'm like, what is this? And it was his Bitcoin address, printed out like an 8-point font. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do? We just like read it, type it in? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And we both started laughing. I'm like, don't you have email? But yes, all right. So I've often wondered about that. The idea of a shortener is really smart. You can go bring that up at btc.to over here, and basically it just looks like it's just a shortener, like any other shortener, right?
Yes,
but
exactly.
the thing is, it has to be trusted, right?
Yes.
Because I thought of this many times, and I'm like, well, you got to trust this shortener. I mean,
Definitely.
I can create my own shortener and make them all go to me, right? So, but this has got and now that you have been consumed, bought up by Mt. Gox, so this is backed by the full faith and confidence of the United States government. I mean, Mt. Gox, right? So it's trusted because you guys host this, and can this site be hacked?
I'm not going to say that there exists any site that cannot be hacked.
Right answer. That was a test. That's very smart, but we will hope it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's very secure. Is it hosted at the same place where Mt. Gox site is?
No, it's on a different server.
A different server. Okay.
Yeah, for
But-
Mt. Gox safety reasons, of course.
Yeah. I guess in a sense the good thing is like one transaction and you would know because it wouldn't go to the right place.
Yeah.
So you can actually put in your whole Bitcoin address here, and then just click go, and it's going to give you a little URL, a btc.to URL.
Yeah, actually,
I can actually paste.
Yeah, you could paste maybe this 1.2 address here and see how it reacts.
Okay, let me see. I'm doing it on my notebook, but pasting it. Yeah. Okay. So I did it on my notebook. We can see right now because anyway. But I get http://btc.to/1. Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I was going. I'm the first person to use it. No, that's cool. So what do you normally end up with? Like a 3 digits or 6 digits or? There you go.
Yeah, it really
that's one.
depends on how many addresses are in the database. So it'll eventually keep getting longer. It's each, I guess you call it slot or character position is in base 36. So any character is allowed basically, anything from A to Z, 0 to 9.
Okay, I noticed I just changed the last letter and it won't take it because it's obviously not a valid one. So that's good. You can't accidentally put a bad one in. That's really clever then.
Yeah.
So like what's it up to like now? Is it like 600 or
I'm not
6,000?
sure.
So it'll be probably roughly 4 digits or 5 digits or something like that.
Yeah,
That's very clever.
We'll actually be releasing the database so everybody can always check it every day,
nice.
multiple times a day.
Can I get a vanity URL? I want btc.to/Bruce.
Yeah, that may be something that'll come in the future.
Probably sell it, right? You never know. All right, that's really slick too. So, and it's good to know that it's backed by you guys. It's not just some random stranger who created this thing, because there's a lot of that going on. So, all right. So back to the other thing. I want to see this. The Mt. Gox mobile. It's mtgoxlive.com/mobile is the website, and the app is called Mt. Gox Mobile. And I mean, I knew you had called me like a while back. This is before Mt. Gox acquired, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about it and all that. I was very interested. But now, I'm more interested than ever because I'm learning more about all this stuff, and especially exciting is the voucher thing, which is just kind of like this new system that Mt. Gox set up and just like quietly just released it. Like there it is. I don't know. I mean, maybe they wanted to like have the usership like grow gradually and make sure it worked really well before they like did this mass announcement. But I was like, wait, what? It does what? Oh my God, this is really, really cool. So, all right, so let's talk about the app. And I'll let you do some talking too. I will let you get a word in. The app, so primarily for Android, anybody that has an Android phone, a new phone, 2.2 or better for sure, can just go to the standard Android market.
Definitely.
And it's called Mt. Gox Mobile. They just do a search for Mt. Gox Mobile. How many stars does it have?
Right now it has 4 stars. Like I was saying before, there were some issues with 2.1 and SSL certificates. So there's a bunch of comments like, oh, it's not working on my 2.1.
There's always some haters. Always some haters. But you fix that out. They'll fix that and they'll go up and up. So, all right, that's cool. Now, the thing that is really interesting to me is that you, what do you call it? You join it or link it somehow to your Mt. Gox account?
Oh, yeah. So what happens is when you first download the application, you cannot log in with your username and password for safety reasons.
You can't.
Yeah. Instead, what you have to do is actually have the website open on your phone, on your computer, which means you may even need to use your YubiKey to log in as well. And what you do is you take the phone, and right here you can see it says activation key. You pair it up with the account, and then that's how it gains access. You can revoke this access at any time too.
Okay, so I'm not quite clear about one thing. So, like, why couldn't I just? I mean, why would it be bad if I launched the app that I just log in with my user ID and password? Like, I could do that from the web browser on the phone.
Yeah. So what happens is, well, there's so many scenarios, I guess, but some that come to the top of my mind. For one is after people learned how to have more secure and stronger passwords, these passwords became incredibly long.
Yeah, like a Bitcoin address.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's it. Use a Bitcoin address as your password. No, maybe not. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
But yeah, so for one, it makes logging in easier. But at the same time, security is of utmost importance.
Right.
So we're implementing security features with this pairing that should be, industry standards. So.
Yeah. So that's the bottom line, is it's more secure. Because if you just log in with your ID and or your login and password on the browser, then you're going to have the full access to it. And you can't, if you have it secured with a YubiKey, which we recommend,
definitely.
of course, then of course you can't do that from any. By the way, that's another kind of a side issue, but if I have my Mt. Gox account secured with a YubiKey, and an Android phone, there is a USB kind of a connector. Is it possible somehow that the device could read the YubiKey on an Android phone?
I'm not quite sure if that's possible now, but I'd imagine that there's nothing that's impossible in the world,
right?
After all, right?
I think that would be a really good idea. If there's maybe some manufacturer will make a USB interface for Android, and then it could become compatible and just be seen. It sees it as a keyboard, right? Definitely. So maybe there's some app situation for Android where you could actually see it as a USB keyboard, and if that were the case, then maybe you could actually use a YubiKey on an Android phone. That would be really cool. Yeah. But anyway, in the meantime, this app gives you almost as good of security because you have to pair it with the client, right? So let's see what the app looks like when you bring it up. Now, is this on an iPhone? The first slide there, Ed. Where you see the actual, that's the website. Let's go to the first slide, actually. The first slide, the image of the icons on the actual phone. There we go. So right there in the center, you'll see the launch. Is that an iPhone? That's an Android, of course, right?
Oh yeah, so that's the MIUI. It's a custom Android ROM. You can get it at miui.us.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. But then the Mt. Gox Live, or actually it's called Mt. Gox Mobile app, is the icon, the launch icon's right there. Okay, next. We'll go through this quick slideshow. So these three images represent what?
Okay, so the first screen represents the first screen that you would see when you actually download and open the application.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is the result after you've either A, entered the pairing key, or B, scanned it with the QR code reader. And then the third screen is where you'd enter a PIN number so that it can actually encrypt using AES encryption, the secret key, so that no one can steal the secret key from you.
Okay, so let me translate a little bit down and technical. So I think what you're saying is that you launch the app, and you have to have it also, mountgox.com, open on your computer. Mm-hmm. You log in to your account on the computer, and then you launch the app, and then it asks you, then you have to activate the app from your account on the computer, mm-hmm. and then it gives you a pairing key, which is like a barcode.
Yeah, you'll either have a QR code, or you could enter it manually if you wish. Okay,
and then when the app asks for this pairing key, then does it turn on the scanner and it'll actually let me scan it from the screen? And
exactly.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, good. I hope I didn't have to type it in. All right, so you can just scan that pairing key code, mm-hmm. and it will actually connect. And then what's the other? What is the other thing that we asked you to enter?
Oh yeah, so then the secret key, that thing needs to be stored on the phone. There's no way to go around unless you want to repair every single time.
Right.
But you don't want to leave the secret key just in plain text.
Vulnerable, right?
Yeah. So that's why we use an industry standard encryption algorithm.
So it's stored encrypted on the phone.
Exactly.
Is it unencrypted for long enough that a virus could grab it?
I don't think so, but like I said before, there's always possibilities as we mm-hmm. continue with this technology, and it gets mm-hmm. better and better and better.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, cool. So then what's the next slide there? This represents what? The login? This is what happens after you pair it. Turn the screen this way so we can see it.
Oh, okay. So that screen on the left mm-hmm. is the screen basically where you'd enter your PIN if you'd like to log in. And on the bottom right corner of that screen, it says change profile. So in other words, what that implies is that this application actually can pair with multiple accounts, multiple Mt. Gox accounts, in case you need to, I guess, check multiple accounts.
So you could have like a his and a hers, whatever, husband and wife both have two different accounts, mm-hmm. and they keep their money separate. And then one app could actually connect to either or. Exactly. Or you can have one that's for pocket money and one that's for more checking account, like level balances, mm-hmm. and have even different permissions.
Exactly.
Like you could have one that's for pocket money that is able to spend and receive and all that, and make trades or whatever. But then the one that has a larger balance, like a checking balance that only allows deposits or something like that from your phone. Okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So then even if a virus somehow hacked into this thing, it would still be limited to your pocket money account, and the other one it could only make deposits. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Very cool. All right, next. What's the next slide there? Okay.
Okay, so on this screen we're actually showing an example of what the app would look like based on the rights you have set to Mt. Gox. Mm-hmm. So, for example, on the left, you'd see all the rights are enabled. So every single option within the application is available. Mm-hmm. And on the right, you only have deposit available. So all you can do is redeem the QR codes or voucher codes.
So there's an example of two different accounts and how the permissions could be different.
Exactly.
So that's what we were just saying. So on the right, the only thing they can do on that account is make deposits.
Exactly.
And on the one on the left, you can get info like what balances and transaction history, things like that.
Yeah, everything. Trading, buying, selling, sending.
Make deposits and withdrawals and all that. So one could be pocket money, that what you would normally carry around town in your pocket, mm-hmm. and the other one could be a larger amount and only allowed to make deposits. That's cool. That's a nice level of security. What's the next? Okay, this one is what?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
so-
normal, the login screen.
Exactly.
So after you're paired, that's just the login screen you get, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And what's this?
And then now we have the home screen, which shows the open, buy, and sell orders, as well as ticker data and your account balance.
So okay, so you see the last, high, low, all that. What's VWAP? VWAP. Oh, that's exactly an averaged purchase price. And then you got this. Okay, so sell 1 Bitcoin for $1,000. So that's your open, buy, and sell orders would be just listed right there.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And what's this?
This is the, I believe that's the buy screen.
Yeah, buy
And-
Bitcoins.
yeah.
Amount to buy.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, that's slick. So you can just buy it right there. In case you're at Mizzy Grill and all you have is cash and you need Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Okay. And the next one
And then the
is
sell screen.
sell.
Yeah, it's pretty
basically.
self-explanatory as well.
Same idea. Are there any limits on this? I mean, like minimums or maximums that you could do from the app?
So as of right now, there are no limits, but that may change in the future.
Okay. Cool. What's next? Let's
Okay,
see.
so this is the send screen. And what you can do from here is either A, choose to send to a Bitcoin address, B, you can send to a btc.to address, or C, you can actually scan a Bitcoin QR code, which follows the same standard that all the other Android applications use as well for the Bitcoin QR codes, so they can have, you know, the amount encoded in it as well.
Okay, so if you scan it, it could just be just a Bitcoin address, or it could be HTTP or no Bitcoin address. Is the scanner? Is this integrated to a scanner app?
Yes, it's using the barcode scanner that actually you recommended quite a while back.
Oh, okay. Wow, I have a little piece in this. And then you can also put in a BTCTO. So if I have BTCTO and I just type in 1, then it's going to go to that address that we did earlier.
Exactly.
Just 1 by itself. Wow, that's amazing. Now, you can only send it to a Bitcoin address, though, right? Not to another account holder.
No.
Okay. Not this way. Okay, cool. So what's next?
Okay, so this is what I believe that is very interesting. It's the voucher
Voucher
system,
value,
and
yeah.
what it allows you to do is create redeemable voucher codes in the currency which you choose, whether that's in Bitcoins or in US dollars. And subsequently, when you have these voucher codes, which exist as either a code like MTGOX-BTC- a bunch of random you know, letters and numbers, or it could be a QR code. And so when it's a QR code, you can actually use the redeem function, scan the QR code, and instantly you've redeemed the amount of that voucher into your account.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets interesting, because when I learned about this, I was like really excited. This is so cool, because you can basically create your own almost like a gift certificate or a check or something,
yeah.
and you can do it denominated in US dollars or Bitcoin, either one, and you put in the value like 100, and then you pick whether it's $100 or 100 Bitcoin, and then you click create voucher. And when you've created a voucher, you're going to get a QR code and also another, like a textual version of it.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Now, with what things or methods are built into this thing to share it? Like, can you use the Android like menu share and email that code? And
Oh, so as of right now, we don't have anything available to allow you to share aside from either, you know, being face to face with each other, obviously, or or you could, I guess, send the QR, or not the QR, the voucher code. But I mean,
Email it?
unless you're using some kind of you know, encryption on your email, I wouldn't, because it's, you know what I mean.
Right. It has its own value. It has value.
Exactly.
It's almost like it's almost like a credit card number or something, but it has actual value. So anybody who gets a hold of that code can redeem it.
Yeah,
So-
as a kind of a tease, a while back, Mark had put a real live voucher code, on his Twitter.
Oh.
And so I mean,
First one to grab it can
Yeah.
grab it. That's interesting. How many Bitcoins was that worth?
I think it was just one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that was like worth good $4. No. Wow, that's cool. So, in practical use, I mean, if we're at lunch and I owe you $20, I can put in $20, boom, voucher, and then you can just say
Exactly,
scan,
scan.
beep, and I just sent you $20. Wow. Or this is like a whole new currency. It's like we talk about Mt. Gox USD.
Exactly.
There's USD, and then there's Mt. Gox USD.
Mm-hmm.
And so literally we can send each other dollars, and if I send you $100, it's always going to be $100,
Mm-hmm.
and it's regardless of currency fluctuations, right? Or I can say 20 Bitcoin, beep, and you just receive it immediately. And it goes from my Mt. Gox account to your Mt. Gox account, of course. You have to have a Mt. Gox account,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, to have this app. And all right, so you don't recommend emailing these. So,
I mean, like I said, everybody has
have
their own
secure.
security set up, and so they know what they're dealing with. But if you're not, comfortable or confident that your email is not going to be eavesdrop or
Yeah.
whatnot,
I suppose if it's sort of a trivial amount, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And in the actual textual version, is it a URL that they could actually click to redeem? Or it's just a number that they have to go into their account and say redeem voucher and paste it in the box?
Yeah, it's kind of like people who are familiar with like World of Warcraft. They have game time cards, right? That are specific codes. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody sent me this in an email, it's not just something I click. I actually have to go to my Mt. Gox account and say redeem voucher and paste in the number.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, we're like, there's so much to talk about. We're just getting started, but we got to take a break really quick because we got to thank our sponsors, and you know who they are. The same sponsors that we've had since the beginning, Meze Grill, mezegrill.com. Meze Grill, obviously, is the world's first brick and mortar restaurant, to our knowledge, that accepts Bitcoin. And not only do they accept Bitcoin, but they now buy and sell Bitcoin for cash anytime you're in New York City. But that's not the only reason to go there. They have Mediterranean food that is absolutely delicious and healthy. It's one of Ed and I's favorite restaurants. We've been going there ever since we moved to the neighborhood. And that's how we met Marwan, the owner, and became friends and talked to him about Bitcoin, and the rest is history. Now he's Bitcoin famous. But the food is absolutely delicious, and it's even Dr. Frugal approved. It's in the sense that it's so affordable. It's hard to find an affordable place to eat if you're in Manhattan. But it's really, really delicious, healthy, and affordable. It's like 3 blocks south of Columbus Circle. So if you're ever in New York City, if you live here, or who doesn't either live here or travel through New York sooner or later, do not leave the city without trying Meze Grill. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're just awesome. Ask for Marwan. Thank him for supporting Bitcoin. And yes, he did have Bitcoin. Meze Grill's Bitcoin was in mybitcoin.com, and yes, they did lose it. Fortunately, he had cleared it out, and there wasn't that much there. But it's because I set him up with it. So of course, all my friends and family, almost all of my friends and family, were affected. But that has not dissuaded his enthusiasm for Bitcoin. He's smart. He knows that has nothing to do with Bitcoin itself, and so he's more of an evangelist for Bitcoin than ever. Very excited and very supportive, and he supports the Bitcoin Show and Only One TV. So be sure and email him, call him, and go in and visit them and ask for Marwan and thank him for his support of the Bitcoin Show, bringing us to you every day. And who else? Mt. Gox. You've heard of them, right? mtgox.com, the number one exchange site, the number one way to buy and sell Bitcoins online. They have obviously the vast majority of market share. They're the oldest exchange site, to my knowledge, that exists online, and they are extremely resilient. They have been hacked. It's not news. We all know about that, but no account holder lost any Bitcoin in this, except for Mt. Gox themselves lost a small amount, which they covered, of course. But that's the good news. Nobody lost any money, and Mt. Gox is back, more secure than ever, and resilient. They're in it for the long run. They're trusted, and they're profitable. I mean, that's a huge thing. The fact that they're profitable means that they have no incentive to run away. They're here for the long haul. So we thank them for supporting Only One TV and the Bitcoin Show, and obviously our guest today is from Mt. Gox. And BitPay. They call it BitPay. I call it bit-pay.com. BitPay is the new way to automate your shopping cart, so that no matter what kind of website you have, whether you have nothing but just like a little blog or absolutely any kind of website, they have their own shopping cart built in. And if you're more sophisticated and you already have a shopping cart on your site, theirs integrates totally right into yours. And what it is, it's kind of like, I think of it like as a PayPal checkout or a Google checkout for Bitcoin. So it's a shopping cart or shopping cart integration, either one. You have two options when you set up an account. It's so easy. I did it on the air in one of the episodes that even I could do it like in 2 seconds. It's unbelievably easy. It's just a little widget you paste in, and boom, you have a shopping cart. And the shopping cart accepts only Bitcoin. So if you have to use it, you have a different button. If you want to use PayPal or something else, that's that business. But if you want Bitcoin, there's a button that says Pay with Bitcoin, and it takes you specifically to a Bitcoin shopping cart. They can check out by sending Bitcoin to you, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's so simple. So we thank BitPay. bit-pay.com is their site, and Allison is the lovely lady in the picture there. She's in the demo video. If you go to BitPay. Bit-pay.com, you'll see Allison, and she's going to be here actually. And so you'll be able to ask her all kinds of questions. She's going to be here for the Bitcoin conference. A little plug for that. The Bitcoin conference is coming up really soon, August 19th to 21st. But Allison will be here. You'll meet this lovely lady who will tell you all about BitPay. So she's the spokesperson for BitPay. So again, we thank them, and BitPay, of course, is the official shopping cart for the Bitcoin conference. Speaking of the Bitcoin conference, before we get back into this, like I said, it's coming up really fast, and I know how many people have registered, and I know how many tables we've sold, but I also know that like at least 60 people have told me that they are definitely coming and have not registered yet. Because you know why? Bitcoin people are busy. I mean, some of the people who are in the middle of this Bitcoin world are the busiest people I know, and they don't even know what's going on in the Bitcoin world because they're so into it. It's like doctors who have no time to read medical journals. They're just so busy practicing medicine. Bitcoin people are like that. So they're very busy, and they haven't had time to register for the conference, but make time. It's really quick. Just go to bitcoinconference.com, and actually I think you have to do it all lowercase, bitcoinconference.com. To get to the website, and then click register now, and literally you're gonna see the little button. It's actually under the hood. It's bit-pay.com, but you check out, and you can buy an admission or however many admission tickets you want, and it's value. Actually, we had to change it to value it in US dollars because the value of Bitcoin was plummeting at the moment, but we made it 26 US dollars value worth of Bitcoin. For admission per person, which that's less than it costs to go to the movies or have a cheeseburger in Manhattan, and 130 US dollars for a vendor table. We have now, because I know how many people are coming, and I mean I am getting calls constantly, and literally people are flying here from Central South America, Australia, Africa, England, Europe, all over the United States, Canada, everywhere. People are coming from all over the globe for this thing. It's going to be a massive event. I know how many people have said for sure they're going to be here. And one group is actually chartering a private jet. I won't say who, but it's going to be interesting. So what we had to do is we figured out that there's no way we could possibly host it at the studio. We're going to do some pre-conference fun and festivities here in town before it starts, like on Thursday, the 18th. And then Friday, it'll start officially, and that'll be here at the Only One TV studios, and we'll actually tape a show, and we'll do tours of the studio and all that, and then we'll do like an after thing at Hudson Eatery, which is the second restaurant in Manhattan that accepts Bitcoin, and we'll do like an icebreaker social thing, whatever, named "Hello, my name is," whatever. It'll be fun, and then people will probably get boozy and tell you all kinds of secrets. It'll be fun. And then and the biggest names in Bitcoin, and I mean some serious technocrats from all over the world are like, we want to bring this to our economy of our country. I mean, it's gonna blow your mind who's gonna be here. So don't miss this. Don't miss it. Okay, then for Saturday is the big day. We've got some amazing keynote speakers. I'm just gonna say, Gavin Andresen for sure, and Stephen Thomas for sure, and we've got several others that aren't absolutely confirmed yet, but they will be soon, and so I'm updating the schedule probably later today. But Gavin Andresen and Stephen Thomas for sure, and several others. But we have so many people that are coming, I know for sure, that we decided we have to have a real, a much larger venue. So you'll see on the schedule, we've moved the venue for the Saturday thing to the Roosevelt Hotel, the Vanderbilt Hall, and it's going to be massive. The actual, what do you call it, auditorium, or what do you call it, like theater seating, will seat 200 people.
Wow.
And we'll have like 12 6-foot vendor tables. Like, it's going to be really spacious. People are going to be very, very happy. Whether they bought a table, they're going to definitely get their money's worth. I was worried about it here in the studio. Like, it's Manhattan. We have limited space, but there it's going to be really, really nice, first class, and seating. It's going to be awesome. And actually, they have really reasonable room rates. We didn't negotiate a deal because they want me to guarantee the. It's like, nah. But actually, Dr. Frugal found out that I think you can get rooms there over this period for like 200 to 220, something like that. So it's actually very, very affordable. You can stay at the same hotel where we'll be. So that's going to be really fun. And then Sunday morning we'll be here again, and of course we'll be having breakfasts at Oak Crepe, and you'll see on the schedule we kind of outlined it: lunches at Mezzi Grill, dinners and cocktails at Hudson Eatery. But it's going to be a blast. So again, that's August 19th to 21st, which means we'll actually be doing the pre-thing on Thursday the 18th, and then all the way through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll even do post-conference fun and festivities on Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, so it's going to be a blast. So, okay, so back to the app. Where did we leave off? Did we get through all those slides of it? Go to the next one. Let's see. What is this?
But yeah, so it looks like it's still the voucher screen on there.
That's the voucher screen. That's the creative voucher. Right. Okay, you got US dollars. Go to the next one. And then, so creating a voucher is basically just saying anybody who gets this number is worth money, and they can redeem it. Exactly. And of course, my first question, I already know the answer now, but my first question was, whoa, what if I create a voucher and it never gets redeemed?
So then it'll just remain in your history until it is redeemed. So
you'll see, in my history, it'll show whether it was redeemed or not?
I'm not exactly sure if it actually shows whether it was redeemed or not. On the creator side. It does definitely on the redeemer side.
Okay, and if it doesn't ever get redeemed, then I can just redeem it myself, and it puts it right back into my account. Exactly. So, like, if I ever wanted to, would this work? If I just go through all the vouchers I've created and redeem them all, it'll go failed, bing, redeemed one.
Exactly.
Would it do that? So occasionally I can just redeem all of the ones I've issued if I know I don't have any outstanding, and grab them all back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that works. And then, so this is in the app, and this is a redeem voucher. Okay, so again, if we're at lunch and I owe you 2 Bitcoins, I can just put in 2 Bitcoin, create voucher, and you just hit redeem voucher.
Yeah, I would just basically hit that button, which is a circle for scanning the QR. I'd go up to your phone, go like this, it would go beep, and then it's done.
And it's immediately in your Mt. Gox account. Cool. This is so cool. All right, what's the next one?
Okay, so this is the depth table, which is exactly the same market depth that you see on the website, but obviously some of the records were truncated so that since it's a mobile app, and you probably don't need to see the bottom in most top orders.
Oh, so this is just the middle.
Exactly.
Okay, truncated at the top and the bottom, but it shows you the spread and the highest bids and the lowest asks. No. Yeah, that's right. The highest bids and the lowest asks?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then, all right, I see. Okay. And then...
and finally, that's the where this all came from, Mt. Gox Live. It's an actual view of Mt. Gox Live on your phone, so you can always, no matter where you are, stay up to date with everything that's happening.
And again, this is just kind of like a market depth table, which shows the bids on the left and the asks on the right.
Exactly.
Bids on the left, asks on the right, and if there's a gap in the middle, that's the spread, right? How come it doesn't show the green squiggly thing in the middle, the actual trades? Does it?
It should. I'm not sure if it's visible maybe on the screen or in that screenshot, but it does.
In the app, it does show you.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
And the squiggly green thing, again, that's the actual trades that did happen.
Exactly.
Okay. That's it? Okay, that's all the images. All right. And then, yeah, there we go. That's the actual mtgoxlive.com website.
Yes.
So that's what it would look like. Okay. So that's what it looks like on the website, which you can go there. And that's actually, like, what is that, like Ajax or something? It's running continuously, right?
Oh, yeah.
In real time?
Coder had built this on the new WebSocket protocol, which, I mean, people can read about that on Wikipedia if they'd like to know more. But what happened was it was supported on Google Chrome. It also works on Firefox, but it's not enabled by default. So what happened was, we'd have people come in occasionally and say, hey, it's not working on my web browser. So what he did then was he added IAC support as well. So
What support? IAC?
actually, I'm not sure how to pronounce it
Oh, okay.
correctly. Yeah, Ajax, IAX.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So now it works across pretty much any modern browser, whether you have WebSocket support or not.
Cool. That is very slick. Yeah. Is that going to, oh, yeah, that is. I was just going to ask you, and I already know. I was going to say, is that going to be integrated into Mt. Gox's website? And then wait a minute, it is, because
Yeah,
I went
exactly.
there, and I clicked it, and I was like, oh, it takes you there now. How long has that been integrated there?
I believe it's been there for at least a week.
Oh, okay. Oh, how did I just noticed. A whole week went by. That's like a year in internet in Bitcoin time, right? All right. So what's on the roadmap for this Mt. Gox Mobile? What's the future hold? I mean, you already solved every problem pretty much that there is.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
what's left?
I mean, there will always be no. There's not going to be any new crazy problems, but like we all know, we always have to adapt to the environment and the situation. But as of right now, what we want to do is focus on having more users actually understand and use the application to its fullest potential, so that
Educating the users.
Exactly. So we can actually make Bitcoins really spread out and be adopted into the real world.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that occurred to me is this voucher system. Like, literally, can I create? No, I'm trying to say, if I've never heard of Bitcoin and never heard of Mt. Gox, can I install the app on my Android phone and create a new account with the app, or no?
Oh no, you'd still have to have a website or a computer to access the website in order to pair the account. So it has to be created first on the laptop or computer.
Can I trick it? Can I use my browser on my phone to create a Mt. Gox account and then pair it to my app on my phone?
You could definitely do that.
Okay, because it's the same thing, right? So I met Cindy Lou. She's never heard of any of this. We're having lunch and all Bitcoin, right? And then she goes, oh, okay, I want to do some Bitcoin. So I say, okay, take out your Android phone, and she goes to mtgox.com, clicks sign up. She puts in her name and her password, hopefully secure. We'll teach her about long, secure passwords. That'll be a whole nother lunch. And then email, right? And then boom, you have an account.
Exactly.
So now she can install the app, and she could actually pair it by going back and forth between the browser and the app?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little more difficult, you'd have to rely on copy paste, but
Yeah. Well, you can do that. Android is pretty easy. Just hold down the home screen, people. You hold down the home key. Have you know that?
I didn't know.
You didn't know that? Oh, look. You hold down the home key, and it shows you every app that's running. So I can bounce back and forth between my app and my browser anytime I want. Well, anyway, so she does that and pairs it up, sets it up. Now that's it. That's all she needs, right? Because then I can create a voucher, and she says, I want to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin because it went from $5 the other day. Now it's 10 and it's on its way back up. So up, right? So she goes, here's $20. I want to get some Bitcoins. So she gives me $20. I say, okay, here's a $20 voucher. And this is also brilliant because I can do it I don't have to buy the Bitcoins for her.
Exactly.
We don't have to negotiate the price or anything. It's like you buy it whenever you want to buy it. You think it'll go down by tomorrow? Wait, whatever. So I can actually say $20, boom, voucher, create voucher. And then I get a QR code, and she just does receive voucher, and she scans it, and it goes beep, and now she's got $20 in her Mt. Gox account. That means everybody is a trader. Everybody is a trader. Exactly. You don't need to go to a website to find the nearest trader, because everybody's a trader. Oh my God, this changes everything. So that's what we're talking about. Like I've been saying, that the biggest issues, obviously, with Bitcoin, number one, security, and we're addressing that with the YubiKey. YubiKey is like phenomenal, and and this syncing it to the app with certain specific rights only addresses security. And the second is liquidity. Liquidity. This really helps because every little kid in junior high can be a Bitcoin dealer. I mean, they can all be selling Bitcoins to each other and showing their parents, look, I made 700% interest on my investment in 6 weeks. And the dad's like, what? Let me see that little game you're playing. And and then what's the third one? Oh, I always forget one of them. It's I always say the biggest challenges are security, liquidity, and I forgot the third one. But anyway, you guys will remind me. So where were we? Okay, so now she's got Bitcoins in her account, and she can buy them whatever, and she can actually buy them from her phone.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really slick. That's slick. But yeah, the users are going to have to be educated in how to configure the app, because they have to, when they do it, they have to select what rights they're going to give themselves on the app side, and then they're going to get a key, which is a long string, whatever, and then they have to put it into the app. So there's a couple little steps, but a technology, friend or nephew or niece or whatever could actually set it up for people. And once it's set up, it's all they have is the app and a PIN number, right?
Exactly.
And that's it. And then they're good to go. And they can literally have one for checking, one for pocket money, one for checking, I guess you could say, levels, and or one for mom, one for dad, one for uncle, whatever. Oh, they could even, couldn't they, like, if my friend, say Joe, right? If Joe has his Mt. Gox account on there, he also has his mom's on there, and his sister's, and his Uncle Lou's all on his app. So he can manage all of theirs.
Exactly.
And he could even transfer money from one to the other by creating a voucher and then redeeming it on the other one? Wow, okay. So that means everybody can be a little banker for their family. So the little tech geek has the app, right? He's like 12 years old, and he's the family's banker. He can actually manage everybody else's Bitcoin accounts on his phone if he wants to set it up that way, if they want to agree to do that.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Very sophisticated. So there's really, I mean, are there any ideas that you have or predictions that you have for what's going to be in the future for these types of mobile apps?
Well, we're trying to make it easier for merchants to be able to do business with Bitcoins, and obviously there's many solutions that are coming up online, but in order for Bitcoins to really take hold, we need to take that brick and mortar marketplace. Bitcoins need to get in there.
Absolutely.
So another thing we were kind of discussing a little earlier about the rights is, since you can pair up and set the rights to only be deposit only,
right?
Then if you have, for instance, a restaurant and you have multiple employees, you don't want them to see your balance. You don't want them to be able to trade your coins. You don't want them to be able to withdraw your coins, obviously.
Right.
But depositing, deposit as much as you want.
That's right. We talked about this before in the conference room earlier, and you were explaining to me that if I have if I'm a business, I'm a retail business, I can set up my Mt. Gox merchant account for multiple. I could have like 8 different phones keyed to it, and 7 of them are deposit only.
Exactly.
So every clerk who has a phone could be set up on my account, but for deposit only.
Exactly.
So they could all be walking, like every waiter in a restaurant, every waiter or waitress in a restaurant could just be set up. Oh, I got to talk to Hudson Eatery about this. And Mezzi Grill. Like literally the servers could come to your table, and here's the bill, and you say, I'd like to pay with Bitcoin. Instead of sticking the American Express in there, they say, I'd like to pay with Bitcoin. And the server pulls out of their pocket and says, okay, and then they can literally just receive a redeem code.
Exactly. They just scan whatever you...
And make a deposit right into it.
Yeah.
Only with deposits, though. No withdrawals or transfers or buys or sells, just deposits.
Exactly.
But they would, of course, the person, the customer would have to have a Mt. Gox account?
Yes, the customer would have to have a Mt. Gox account with the withdrawal right as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they would for their pocket money or whatever. Now, if they don't have a Mt. Gox account, the customer could still send it to a Bitcoin address, and maybe the server could verify. Could they see the transaction if they had rights for the information?
Yeah, you'd have to have the get info right.
The get info right.
Yeah.
So the server would have to have the ability to make deposits and the get info if they wanted to verify network deposits that didn't go through
Exactly.
Mt. Gox.
But obviously, there's the 6
The delay.
confirmations. Yeah.
6? So does Mt. Gox require 6 confirmations?
That's
before it
that's
shows
what I
up?
last heard.
Okay.
I mean, don't quote
Yeah,
me definitely
okay,
on this.
okay,
I guess.
okay. Okay, well, yeah, then that 6 is a long delay.
That may be wrong. If that sounds big to you, then I'm definitely mistaken.
I'm not sure, but it's.
Yeah.
I know that it's like. Well, no, it could be, but like I think it's approximately like 1 confirmation for 10 minutes. So 6 would be like an hour.
Oh.
That would be too much probably for a restaurant. But if it, I mean, for the time wise, would be a problem. But if it were, 20 minutes, if it's a sit down restaurant, that probably could still be acceptable as long as they pay. But when they order,
Yeah.
by the time they're finished, that's paid. Interesting. And I'm sure there are point of sale systems. I mean, Mark Carpelis, is that how you say his name? It's French. He's been on our show, of course, a couple times, and he's been on the French language Bitcoin show called Le Bitcoin Show, and which, of course, he speaks fluent French because he's French. So he was very verbose on that show. And he actually held up the box, this point of sale device that is apparently beta testing now, or will be beta testing soon and stuff like that. I can't wait to get my hands on that. And you have any secrets about how that's going to work? Like, is that going to work with the app? Of course it'll work with the app, right?
Definitely.
Duh. So that'll somehow tie them in so that, I don't know, what is it going to do?
So I can't really get into too much detail right now.
Oh, you can tell me.
But what
I
I
won't tell
can
anyone.
what I can say is that everything's going to be changing soon.
Come on, you sound like me, Keys. That's what I say every day. I can't tell you, but it's big, and it's going to change everything, right? That's it? That's all you're going to give me? Okay, I'm calling Mark. All right. But anyway, we're going to have that soon, I guess. We'll be able to play around and beta test it. Maybe I'll take it over to Mezzy Grill and see what we can do. We'll play around with it. That'll be cool. So what the future holds. So what do you see happening? Okay, so aside from all the apps and Mt. Gox and everything else, let's just talk about Bitcoin in general.
Okay.
What's your prediction? I ask everybody this. What's your prediction of like what will the future, like the near term, let's say 6 months from now, and what will Bitcoin look like in the world, and say 2 years from now, what will Bitcoin look like in the world? What do you think? And what will be the value? The value of Bitcoin too.
I can tell you that as long as we don't find any issues with the system itself, and then as long as there's people like you, me, and everybody else who are pushing this with our strongest of efforts, then there's no way this movement's going to stop ever. And so 1 year from now, I mean, I can't even predict, but things are going to be exponentially larger than they are now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not pushing Bitcoin, not at all. No. You must be thinking of someone else. No, but okay. So, I mean, I've always been everyone says I'm Bitcoin's biggest cheerleader or whatever, evangelist. And then now, after these recent experiences, we all know, I'm going to be not only, I'm going to be all about security. Obviously, I'm going to be the biggest. I'm going to be an advocate for security first, Bitcoin second. Because it's money. It really is money, and we have to protect it from all those bad guys who are stealing it. Which is, it's like, anyway, we'll talk about that as a whole other thing. But it's kind of like the wild, wild west days at the moment. So, do you really see it being? Oh, I know what I was going to say. With the app and point of sale being accepted as merchants. Wouldn't it be more convenient for a merchant to just accept Mt. Gox US dollars? Because if they need $12.50, they get $12.50, and then they don't even have to deal with Bitcoin at all. It's almost like Mt. Gox US dollars could be an alternative currency.
Yeah, what I would say is the Mt. Gox USD almost acts as a crutch or you know what I mean? It almost helps stores and merchants adopt and move into Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not you're going Bitcoin only.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can make the decision. They have all the freedom in the world if they want to buy Bitcoin, as an investment or not. If they want to take all their receipts and put it into Bitcoin form, hoping that it will go up in value, or if they want to, you know, a lot of people are thinking that the strategy of a big merchant accepting Bitcoin and immediately selling it to put it into dollars. But if you have Mt. Gox, these mobile on both ends, you can actually just send US dollars to US dollars. You don't have to put it into Bitcoin at all.
Exactly.
But it makes it really, really convenient if you want to. Like if the customer has Bitcoins, he wants to, you know, he can either send Bitcoins or he can even sell some into US dollars and have some US dollars on there too. The merchant can accept Bitcoin, or the merchant can accept dollars, and then the merchant can convert everything into Bitcoins, or convert all the Bitcoins into dollars, or even whatever percentage they want. So they have a lot of flexibility that way.
Yeah, and actually, you know, on this same topic, I don't know how I forgot this, but we're actually going to be having additional currencies as well, not just US dollars.
You mean like euros and
Exactly.
on the app too? Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Yeah. There's no end to that. Okay, we're out of time. He's telling me we got 2 minutes. Can you believe it? Time just flies when you're having fun. We start talking about Bitcoin and it seems like 50 minutes seems like 5 minutes. It's crazy. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And thanks, guys, for hanging in there with us. Every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, typically, is our schedule. Sometimes we do pre-tape shows, and sometimes we do bonus shows and do more than one in a day. But normally, 2 p.m. Eastern every day, Monday through Friday, The Bitcoin Show. Thanks for joining us. And 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, Eastern Time, for El Show de Bitcoin en Español. And we're adding 7 more languages. Anyway, till tomorrow, thanks for joining us on The Bitcoin Show. Take care. Up, up, up. The order book orders on the other side, I guess the asks and the buys, right?
Yes, the
the
bids
bids
are
and
on the
asks.
left and the asks are on the
Okay.
right.
And what's this green squiggly thing down the middle?
That's the actual trades that occurred, and if you hover your mouse over each like the green line, you can see, you know, the time that it was traded, and
Oh, the
there's
actual trades.
yeah, there's also a thickness on that line as well, so it shows you the volume of the trades that occurred at that time as well.
Wow, this is cool. And so we announced, and we all know probably by now that Mt. Gox acquired Mt. Gox Live, right? So is that the secret? You just create a website and then really cool tool and call it Mt. Gox, and they're just going to buy you? Is that was that your plan from the beginning?
I'm not sure actually. You know, it's all luck, I guess.
Yeah, I think
coincidence.
it's more than luck. You have to come up with something really, really valuable, which you obviously have. And the guys at Mt. Gox must have been really impressed. What was your first contact like when Mark called you up and said, "Hey, I like what you did"? How did that
We
go?
actually were talking for quite a long time, so I can't even really remember how it first started.
Okay, cool. Probably email. He's always into email. That's very cool. Okay, so Mt. Gox Live is a website now. And you're a co-founder, so you had a partner in this startup,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But Mt. Gox Live then became Mt. Gox Live app,
Yes.
right? For Android?
Yeah, so what happened was basically somewhere around May 26th, Steve DeProspero, who's also many people know as Coder, he wrote Mt. Gox Live, the website, and he showed it to me, and we put it on one of our servers, and we thought, wow, this is amazing. We need to keep making more services to help Bitcoin go up.
Yeah, that is slick. And then just click go, and it's going to give you a little URL, a btc.to URL.
Yeah, actually,
I can actually paste.
Yeah, you could paste maybe this 1.2 address here and see how it reacts.
Okay, let me see. I'm doing it on my notebook, but pasting it. Yeah. Okay, so I did it on my notebook. We can see right now because anyway. But I get http://btc.to/1. Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm the first person to use it. No, that's cool. So what do you normally end up with? Like a 3 digits or 6 digits or? There you go.
Yeah, it really
that's one.
depends on how many addresses are in the database. So it'll eventually keep getting longer. It's each, I guess you call it slot or character position is in base 36. So any character is allowed, basically anything from A to Z, 0 to 9.
Okay, I noticed I just changed the last letter and it won't take it because it's obviously not a valid one. So that's good. You can't accidentally put a bad one in. That's really clever then.
Yeah.
So like what's it up to like now? Is it like 600 or
I'm not
6,000?
sure.
So it'll be probably roughly 4 digits or 5 digits or something like that.
Yeah,
That's very clever.
We'll actually be releasing the database so everybody can always check it every day,
Nice.
multiple times a day.
Can I get a vanity URL? I want btc.to/Bruce.
Yeah, that may be something that'll come in the future.
Probably sell it, right? You never know. All right, that's really slick too. So, and it's good to know that it's backed by you guys. It's not just some random stranger who created this thing, because there's a lot of that going on. So, all right. So back to the other thing. I want to see this. The Mt. Gox Mobile. It's mtgoxlive.com/mobile is the website, and the app is called Mt. Gox Mobile. And I mean, I knew you had called me like a while back. This is before Mt. Gox acquired, right?
Yeah.
Today's episode of The Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Meze Grill, M-E-Z-E Grill.com, and Mt. Gox, MTGOX.com, and BitPay, BIT-PAY.com. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bitcoin Show. This is episode 35 and I'm Bruce Wagner. And joining us today, right here live in the studio, is Andrew Lee, who, welcome.
Welcome.
And Andrew is the co-founder of Mt. Gox Live. So, welcome. You're right here local to New York, right?
Yes,
That's-
just recently.
Recently? Where are you from before that?
Well, I lived in Connecticut for about 1 year, and before that I was in Philadelphia.
Well, everybody knows what Mt. Gox is, but what the heck is Mt. Gox Live?
Mt. Gox Live is it's a trading depth chart, basically, that allows you to see the price resistances, the open orders and the buy and sells, lets you see trade history, up-to-date live trade data. It basically keeps you updated on what's happening in the Bitcoin economy.
So check out my screen and you can see I'm on Mt. Gox Live right now. And when I go to Mt. Gox Live right now, that's what it looks like. Nope, you're not seeing it. Oh well. Anyway, trust me, it's like a big V and it shows you the spread. It shows you the basically that's the order book, real time. That's why it's called live. Okay, so you see on the one side he developed the website, and so you developed the app then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you developed the app. Very cool. Why don't you see if you can bring it up here at mtgoxlive.com/mobile. So that mtgoxlive.com/mobile is the actual page for the Mt. Gox Live mobile. So now you were just telling me a minute ago, that's how I know. Mt. Gox Live app has now been renamed just Mt. Gox Mobile.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So that's good because I can't remember it. Mt. Gox Mobile I can remember. And it looks really slick. You can actually just download it here. Now it requires Android or iOS.
Yes, the iOS, there's a lot of, I guess, desire for it, but right now we're still doing testing. It works on jailbroken iOS devices, which are version 4.01, but not with the most recent 4.3.3 or up.
So on the iPhone and stuff, all the thingies, you have to have iOS 4.01 and it has to be jailbroken.
Exactly.
So it's the little qualifiers there. But Android can just be 2.1 or better.
Well, there is, I'd like to mention so nobody is startled, there is an issue with Android 2.1 and their trusted root SSL certificates. So there's actually a problem with 2.1. So in hindsight, actually, we should limit it to 2.2 plus. Yeah.
2.2 plus. Okay, there's a typo. Mark that up. We'll fix it. All right. But basically a new Android phone. So that's really slick. Now, you're also involved now. BTC.to. Tell us about that.
Okay, so when we had our mobile application and we thought, okay, so you want to send Bitcoins to a Bitcoin address. And then we were about to do that, and it's so many characters that you have to
Yeah.
enter, especially on a mobile phone, and it's a nightmare. So we thought, okay, we need a Bitcoin address shortener. And so that's where BTC.to
I
came
remember.
from.
I don't know. I might have told this story before, but I remember that one of the very first Bitcoin transactions I ever did. Some guy, I had put some U.S. dollars into Mt. Gox, and some guy, emailed me whatever, and he wanted to meet. He wanted to buy some Bitcoins. So we met at the coffee shop or whatever, and he's like, he hands me this little, like, it was literally like a piece of paper, like this, just torn off like that, right? And he hands it to me, and he goes like that, and I'm like, what's this? Like, what is this? Your business card? I'm like, what is this? And it was his Bitcoin address printed out like an 8-point font. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do? We just like read it, type it in. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And we both started laughing. I'm like, don't you have email? But yes, all right. So I've often wondered about that. The idea of a shortener is really smart. You can go bring that up at btc.to over here. And basically it just looks like it's just a shortener, like any other shortener, right?
Yes,
but
exactly.
the thing is, it has to be trusted, right?
Yes.
Because I thought of this many times, and I'm like, well, you got to trust this shortener. I mean,
Definitely.
I can create my own shortener and make them all go to me, right? So, but this has got and now that you have been consumed, bought up by Mt. Gox, so this is backed by the full faith and confidence of the United States government. I mean, Mt. Gox, right? So it's trusted because you guys host this. And can this site be hacked?
I'm not going to say that there exists any site that cannot be hacked.
Right answer. That was a test. That's very smart. But we will hope it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's very secure. Is it hosted at the same place where Mt. Gox site is?
No, it's on a different server.
A different server. Okay.
Yeah, for Mt. Gox safety reasons, of course.
Yeah. I guess in a sense the good thing is like one transaction and you would know because it wouldn't go to the right place.
Yeah.
So you can actually put in your whole Bitcoin address here,